Erev Tov Batay. Tu Bishvat Sameach. So let's talk a little bit about laws of Shabbat. Let's continue. When we do the reading of the Torah on Shabbat, how many people go up? 7, right? So now the question is, what about if we want to add more, right? We want to have more. Are you allowed to do, right? We do. Mosif, right? We do. Yeah, we do. So according to Halakha, the real truth is, you're allowed to add as much as you want. But the minhag is, by the Sfardim, we do like 3, Mosif, not more. Am I right? Some Jews do more. Okay, yeah, whatever. You can do more if you want, but the minhag is like 3. You know why that is? Because if you do like 5, 6, 7, it's tircha de tzibur. People have to wait. It's too much time. It's too much wasted time. People want to go home and eat. They want to rest a little bit on Shabbat. They want to do something for Shabbat. They don't want to stay here in shul all day. So that's why 3. Is good. It's a good thing. Same thing also applies to Yom Tov. That you can add if you want. Also, Yom Tov. Right? And we do. On Yom Tov, we also add, The basic number is 5 on Yom Tov, right? But we add sometimes 2 or 3, You're allowed to do that. Same thing on Yom Tov. What about the other days? Are you allowed to add, right? Yom Chol or Chol HaMoed, you're not allowed to add, right? There you're not allowed to. You have to do only 3, right? Not more. Chol HaMoed, only 4. Maximum, right? That's it. No more. Yeah, the Yom Chol, right? That's the week, So there, we do only 3. That's it, right? You're not allowed to do any more. That's the way we operate. Okay, fine. So there's also another thing, right? Which is that, let's say on Shabbat, right? I want to bring up some children, katan, to also, to be ole to the Torah. Are we allowed to bring katan to be ole? So the truth is that it's allowed. If he knows how to read and he knows who he's reading for, to Hashem, he knows who's Hashem, right? So katan is allowed to go up, to be one of the olim of the Torah. The thing is, we say like this, we don't want everybody to be katan, this is too much, what I mean? That's what it says, right, in the poskim. But if we want to put like 2 or 3 katanim, and they know what they're doing, it's mutar, it's allowed to do that. So why is that? Why is it allowed? Katan, is patur, right, from mitzvot. So then how do we allow this?
It's before bar mitzvah.
Right, before bar mitzvah, yeah. How do we allow this? What's the vehicle for this? What's the logic? The logic is like this, that the truth is that, what is a mitzvah, The mitzvah is to hear the Torah from somebody, And even if he's katan, and he's reading, you hear from him, right? So that's it, that's all you need, You just have to hear it. That's all, So if he knows how to read the katan, you hear it good, nothing really, there's no problem there, So that's why it's allowed. Okay, so katan we do allow, that's one thing. What about, let's say, is he allowed to be Bal Koreh katan? Bal Koreh? Nobody, let's say, right, he knows how to read good. Some katanim, they know how to read. They already trained. They train them. So the truth is, that what we say is like this, if we have somebody gadol, who knows how to read, we prefer to put gadol. But if there's nobody else, to read, only katan, we allow him to read. The whole parasha, from beginning to end, because he knows how to read. We have to hear him, we hear him good. So everything is good. Baruch Hashem, Yishtabach Shemo. Okay, fine. So now, what about women, right? Are we allowed to, is Isha allowed to go up to the Torah? This is the question, right? We never see this, right? You ever seen a shul like this? Only in a Reform synagogue you see something like this, right? The Isha or conservative, they go up to read the Torah, the women. So is it allowed to? So it says in Shulchan Aruch like this. The truth is, that really it should be allowed to put Isha to go up to the Torah. There's no problem with that, halachically speaking. But Chachamim, they forbade this. They said, don't let a woman go up. Why? What's the reason why? Because kavod of the tzibur. It's not kavod. This is, community. Right? Jamat. Right? Kavod of tzibur. Kavod of the tzibur. What kavod are we talking about here? What is a kavod? So the truth is, there's a lot of questions that come up with this halacha. Because what do you mean kavod of the tzibur? What are we allowed to listen to her? Kol isha, right? Kol isha. You're not allowed to listen to a woman singing. So how will we let her go up and sing? The Torah. We're not allowed to listen to her. No, huh? Right? Isn't that true? So the truth is, that there is an answer for everything. When it comes to these things, the truth is, that if she goes up and she reads the Torah by herself, with her voice, some women have a beautiful voice, right? Beautiful, Some Bukharian people told me, in their house, the mother sings over there, in the house, and some of these Bukharian ladies, they know how to sing good. So, it's like the whole family, listens to her, and whatever. So the question is, what about, about Kol Isha, there's a prohibition, right? Kol Isha erva, it says in the Talmud, that the voice of the woman is erva. What does that mean? It's like, it's attractive, right? So how do you let a woman go up and read the Torah? How do we do that? So you know what the answer is? The poskim say that it doesn't apply over here, that prohibition of Kol Isha. Why? Because it's davar mitzvah, Since to read the Torah it's a mitzvah, so Kol Isha doesn't apply over there. So what does that mean? When it's a mitzvah, we're not concerned, somebody's going to be like, having hirhurim, bad thoughts, because she's doing a mitzvah. So this is the reason why, there's no problem with her reading the Torah, to hear her voice, because she's doing mitzvah. There's no problem. But there's another problem. What about, because, everybody's looking at her, you know what I mean? She looks nice, she looks beautiful. So people go a little bit crazy, right? I'm sorry. What are you saying? Hey?
She has to wear tzitzit?
No, they're not allowed to wear tzitzit, women, They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to wear talit.
Otherwise, if she wearing tzitzit, you don't see her.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have to talk about this, okay? It's a very good question what you're asking. So, first of all, right, let's just go step by step, right? We'll cover all the things here. Right? Number one, what about, just looking at her, she looks nice, everybody's looking at her, look at this beautiful woman. What about that? So truth is, obviously, a woman who goes up to read the Torah, she would have to be dressed b'tzniut, she can't be dressed, with a short skirt, and the short sleeves, and cleavage. This is not allowed, Woman is not allowed to come like this to the shul even, to be in the Ezrat Nashim. Even that's not allowed. Forget about reading the Torah, right? That's already something else altogether. But he has to be dressed with tzniut, that's for sure, In the old days, by the way, if you look at the pictures, from like 100 years ago, look at the women, the way they were dressed. Like a bag, they like a potato bag, sack. You couldn't see their body, nothing, They looked like nothing, No, nothing attractive there. That's the way it was in the old days. Now, today, everything is like crazy, Everything went nuts today. The way they dress today, the ladies, it's like you can't even look at them. So in the old days, that wasn't a problem. They were tzniut, they were tanua. So then what is the problem with the woman going up to read the Torah? We said, right, the voice is not a problem. If she's tanua, okay, it's okay. So then what is the problem? So it says kavod of the tzibur, right? That's what we said, right? So what does that mean? So who explained this to me? Maran, Rabbi, my rabbi. Our rabbi, he explained to us that the problem is like this, when the woman goes up to read the Torah, she knows how to read, Some women, they know how to read, especially the Ashkenazi ladies, they know how to read. They learned, when they were small, when they were children, they know how to read good. So then what's the problem? The problem is, that when she goes up to read, so what do people say? People say, if she's going to read, the men don't know how to read. No, she's the only one who knows how to read. So it's it's a disgrace for the tzibur, not kavod. You know what I mean? That she's the only one who knows how to read the Torah. Nobody else. All the men are amiratzot, and she knows how to read. Oh, doesn't look good, This is what it means, kavod that's of the tzibur, that it's not kavod for the tzibur that a woman, should be doing the mitzvah for them, and they can't do. I'm sorry, yeah, make it.
There is no Baal Koreh. Baal Koreh, one Shabbat doesn't come. A lady came there.
Right, that's the thing, That's the thing, So really, right? It should be allowed, But the rabbi said no. The women can never read, They can never read, because of kavod tzibur. It's a disgrace, to the tzibur. That woman goes up to read. Nobody else knows how to read besides her. So this is the reason why we don't allow. So as we said, right, when it comes to katan, we allow, to him to go up to read the Torah, But when it comes to women, the rabbi said no. They didn't want to allow this. That's the way it is. Okay, fine. Let's go on a little bit. Maybe I'll do one more piece over here, right? We don't have much time. So let's talk about something interesting, right? Which is, let's say, for instance, the Baal Koreh, right, read the Parsha on Shabbat. And he read the Shishi, right? In Shishi, he finished the whole Parasha. You know, he finished everything. By mistake, he made a mistake, right? So what do you do now? Right? He finished everything. So it says Shulchan Aruch, what you do is like this, you know, that the maftir goes up and he reads the Shvi'i again, right? The whole Shvi'i. You know, some piece over there, you know, the last, like, you know, and this is how we do it, you know. So what we do is the maftir is going to be the seventh reader. We're not going to do 8, you know, like we usually do, right? Because this guy finished everything. So we're just going to let maftir go, you know, and finish, do like, you know, the last piece over there, one piece, and do haftarah, and that's it, right? We're done. That's the halacha. One more thing I'll tell you, right? Then we'll finish here. What about if they read the parsha, right? Listen to this now, right? They read the parsha, the Baal Koreh on Shabbat, but the problem is, you know, he skipped one pasuk or more. You know, he skipped something. So what happened, right? They finished everything. They read the haftarah. So now, no, what do you do now? Then one person comes and says, right? Boris, right, comes and says, "Hey, you didn't read this, hey! You didn't read this pasuk, I was listening to you!"
No, because I don't follow. I read myself.
I understand. I'm joking. No, don't take it seriously. Don't take it seriously.
But a lot of
Yeah?
people follow and they can, you know...
Right, exactly. Maybe Rabbi Yosef, right? Is following. So, whatever it is, right? Rabbi Yosef is following everything. He's following everything, I know. Right? Akkuratni, Rabbi Yosef. Okay, so anyway, right? So here's the thing now, right? What do you do now? Can you just say, okay, you know, yalla, bedil vayavor. You know, let's go home, right? Let's do musaf and go home. No, you cannot do that, right? Even if you missed one pasuk, they have to take out the Sefer Torah again, you know, and read again that pasuk. Not the whole parasha. Right, that pasuk. But here's the thing, right? Since they took out the Sefer Torah, how many people read? 3 people have to read. You know, not one. One is not enough. You cannot take out Sefer Torah and read one person. It's not. Right. Yeah, if you have Kohen, right? Like, as always. So you have to have 3 people, you know, so this, you got to be careful, you know, not to do this, right? Not to skip a pasuk or whatever. Because otherwise, you know, okay, whatever, right? This usually never happens. In my life, I never saw this happening before. I never saw such a thing like this. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen Amen. רבי חנינא בן קשיא אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לעושה כל ישראל, לפיכך הלכו בא להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר בנו חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.